Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into the really captivating world of Paula Hawkins' work. We're dissecting a gripping mystery, focusing on a reclusive artist and, well, the many secrets held by a remote Scottish island.
Absolutely. And you've given us a fascinating set of sources, diary excerpts, interview snippets, personal notes. It's quite a collection.
It really is. And our mission today is to cut through all that noise, extract the most compelling insights, and, transform this tangled web into something clear, something profound. We're not just telling a story, we're trying to uncover its hidden truths.
Sounds like a plan. Where do we start?
So let's unpack this. Our journey begins with a man named James Becker. He's a curator at the Fairbairn Foundation.
Right, and the sources, they immediately highlight his status, don't they? He's painted as an outsider.
Exactly. Fatherless bastard of a supermarket checkout girl, state schoolboy in a cheap suit. That's the description we get. He's navigating this world of blue bloods.
Yeah, that's not just background detail, is it? It immediately sets up this dynamic of class, of aspiration. He's an interloper.
In a world of, inherited privilege.
Which probably makes him very observant, but maybe also anxious, always trying to prove himself.
And that tension, it gets tested almost immediately. The inciting incident is a phone call. It's from Will Goodwin at Tate Modern.
Ah, the bombshell. About Division 2, the sculpture.
Precisely. A sculpture on loan from Fairbairn. So what exactly is Division 2? And why is it suddenly such a huge problem?
Well, Division 2 is one of only 7 unique sculptures by this really enigmatic artist, Vanessa Chapman. It's quite striking, ceramic, found objects, all suspended inside a glass case.
And Becker didn't even know she made sculptures initially, right? He knew her as a painter, a ceramicist.
Exactly. Which tells you something right away, doesn't it? That even art insiders didn't grasp the full scope of her work. Public perception versus reality.
So the call from the Tate. What's the alarming discovery?
Inside the sculpture, they found a bone, and they suspect it's human.
Wow. Okay. And Becker's first reaction?
Dismissal, basically. He thinks it's, an overreaction. But the Tate is very nervous. Understandably.
So nervous they withdraw the sculpture immediately. One object, but it carries immense weight.
Oh, absolutely. It's more than just a bone. It's a fuse, really, igniting this long hidden history. The Tate's worried about the scandal.
Which is where Helena Lennox comes in, Becker's wife, Sebastian's sister.
Yes, and her insight is crucial here.
She immediately makes this leap, doesn't she? From a suspicious bone to a decades-old disappearance. It's quite something.
It shows how for someone like Vanessa Chapman, reclusive and famous, even a tiny detail can explode. Helena instantly connects it to Vanessa's isolation and, crucially, to her husband.
Julian Chapman.
Yeah.
Notoriously unfaithful, disappeared nearly 20 years ago. Body never found.
And Helena, being an insider, she gets it. She understands the potent mix. Reclusive artist, missing husband. It's not just an art issue anymore.
No, it's potentially criminal. It forces you to question everything about Vanessa Chapman's private life.
Definitely. So let's dive into that enigma. Vanessa Chapman, seen now through this shadow of Julian's disappearance.
And Julian himself. As sources consistently call him a devil. Handsome, wicked.
But fascinatingly, a devil who was loved. Everyone adored him. That's key. He's this charismatic but destructive force.
Leaving behind financial problems, frequent infidelities. His sister, Isabel Birch, confirms the wicked side in an interview.
Yet she still hopes to find him. It's this mix of charm and chaos that made his disappearance, well, maybe not surprising, and perhaps for Vanessa, a kind of twisted liberation.
Isabel certainly suspects that. She says Vanessa seemed relieved to be rid of him after he vanished from Ayers Island in 2002.
And the timing, that's significant too. It was just 6 months after his lover, Celia Gray, died in a car crash in France. Late 2001.
So much loss and departure packed together. But then we have Vanessa's own diaries from around that time.
Right, and they offer a very different perspective, a counter-narrative to Isabel's suspicion.
She writes about telling Julian not to come to Iris. She mentions a brief, sort of vanilla sexual encounter.
And crucially, this feeling of freedom. Intoxicating, she calls it. Answering to no one, only the tide. It shows her desperation to escape him, escape that life.
That desire for freedom. It brings us to Grace Haswell, Vanessa's executor, living on Ayers Island.
Grace. And the descriptions of her are so evocative. Title, even lunatic sleeps only when the tide cuts her off.
What did that tell us about her?
It links her immediately to the island itself. Raw, untamed Iris. Her tidal nature suggests someone isolated, governed by primal rhythms, maybe unpredictable.
A guardian, then. of the island and Vanessa's legacy.
Fiercely protective, almost elemental.
And speaking of that legacy, there's this highly controversial will. Vanessa left everything, her entire artistic estate, to the Fairburn Foundation.
Run by Douglas Lennox, her former gallerist, and importantly, her bitter enemy, after this really acrimonious legal battle between 2002 and 2004.
Douglas claimed it was a posthumous apology.
Which feels convenient, doesn't it? Why leave everything to an enemy after such a fight? It suggests something deeper, something unsaid about that will.
And then Douglas starts accusing Grace of incompetence, even theft, missing paintings, ceramics. Just adds more tension.
Exactly. So many questions swirling around.
Which leads Becker to make the journey to Eris Island itself, an island where access is literally controlled by the tide via a causeway.
Even getting there underscores the isolation. He's forced to wait, subject to the island's rhythm. It sets a really foreboding tone.
And his first encounter with Grace.
It's striking. She's fearful, defensive. There's a shotgun on display.
Right. And Becker notes her ugliness, but contrasts the dark, dingy house with this stunning view from the kitchen.
That contrast feels symbolic. A harsh exterior guarding something hidden, maybe something beautiful, maybe something dark.
We find out Grace is a doctor, which gives her reaction to the bone suspicion some weight initially.
She's furious, absolutely furious. She insists Division 2 is unquestionably Vanessa's work, says Vanessa made the glass case herself.
Containing her fingerprints, her DNA, her breath. It's almost sacred to her.
It is. Her anger about testing the bone ludicrous sensationalist nonsense isn't just scientific doubt, it's personal. It's a defense of Vanessa, her integrity, maybe her secrets.
And she immediately tries to create distance chronologically, right? Julian Chapman went missing in 2002. Division 2 was made in 2004.
Even though Becker mentally corrects it to 2005, the timeline itself becomes part of her defense strategy. It's fascinating.
We also get these glimpses into Grace's own life. Her isolation, eating pasta alone every night.
And this past trauma? Being abandoned by college friends Nick Riley and Audrey? A trauma she feels followed her all the way to Eris.
It paints this picture of deep loneliness, maybe a desperate need for connection, for attachment.
And that abandonment theme echoes eerily in her interactions with Marguerite, this elderly woman with Alzheimer's waiting endlessly for her abusive husband, Stuart Cummins, who's long gone.
Grace remembers Marguerite's injuries from years ago, back in 1993. And her own complicity, being distracted, helping cover up the abuse.
And 1993. That's the year Nick Riley, the friend who abandoned her, reappeared in her life. The source subtly connects past cover-ups, violence, and Grace's own history.
It's layering in suspicion. And her relationship with Vanessa, it's incredibly complex, too.
Very. Vanessa's letters to a friend sometimes describe Grace as smothering, maybe lacking a certain depth of feeling.
But other times, deep affection. Vanessa calls her my Grace, kisses her fingers, clearly dependent on her practical help.
Vanessa admits it. I neglect the things that really matter to me, my work, and you. Grace was essential.
This complexity hints at Grace's hidden side, doesn't it? Her careful selection of notebooks for Becker.
Exactly. Holding back the sensitive ones, but making sure he sees the awful letters from Douglas Lennox. It feels calculated, manipulative even.
And that chilling thought she has about Douglas that he should have been shot before probate was granted.
It shows a shocking level of animosity and protectiveness. It suggests she's capable of, well, extremes.
Okay, so the deep dive really takes a turn here. The truth starts coming out, piece by shocking piece. And the first big one hits Becker hard.
The bone identification?
Yes, it's definitive. The bone in Division 2 isn't Julian Chapman's.
No, it belongs to Nicholas Riley.
Grace's old friend, the one who abandoned her.
It's a seismic shift, isn't it? Suddenly, the mystery isn't just about Vanessa and Julian anymore. It pulls Grace's personal history, her trauma, her betrayal right into the center.
The bone becomes a direct link to her past, suggesting a much darker, more personal motive.
Absolutely. And then Grace starts revealing things herself about Julian's disappearance.
She says Vanessa left Julian a note. We can't keep going round and round and round like she was ending it.
But when Vanessa returned, she found her studio destroyed, ceramics smashed, canvases slashed.
And Grace claims that's why Vanessa pulled out of her big Glasgow show back then. Not because she'd done something, but because she feared the police, the press, if the vandalism came out.
It's a crucial detail. Think about it. Vanessa endured a huge legal battle, public animosity with Douglas Lennox, rather than reveal what Julian did to her work.
An attack on her soul, really, not just property.
Which suggests she was hiding something even bigger. a violence that went beyond smashed ceramics.
The revelations just keep coming. Becker confesses his affair with Helena to Grace. Big mistake, maybe.
Perhaps, because Grace responds by casually dropping another bombshell about Douglas Lennox's death.
She says Emmeline, Sebastian's mother, shot him.
And adds that chilling comment about Emmeline being a crack shot, could hit a rabbit through the eye with an air gun.
Suddenly, the official story that Douglas's death was an accident seems incredibly flimsy.
It points to this pattern, doesn't it? Hidden violence, careful cover-ups within this family, this circle. Douglas's death looks far more sinister now.
And then, exploring Vanessa's private space, Becker finds something else. A hidden painting.
One of the black paintings, titled Love.
His interpretation is chilling. Judas slaying Holofernes. 2 women killing a man, a brute.
And Grace confirms it. She looks at it and says, "It's us. You and me and him."
Us, meaning Grace and Vanessa. And him, Julian.
That's the implication, and it leads to the core of it all. Grace's confession. Implicit maybe, but undeniable.
Julian Chapman didn't just disappear after smashing the studio?
No. Grace killed him. She describes hitting him with a mason's hammer, disposing of the body, using poor Marguerite as an alibi.
And she calls this violence, an act of devotion for Vanessa.
And claims Vanessa understood, forgave her, that the love painting depicts their shared act, their violent bond.
The depth of that loyalty or obsession, it's staggering, and it extends right to the end of Vanessa's life.
Grace reveals Vanessa's cancer spread to her brain, her art declined, her coherence faded.
And Grace admits she helped Vanessa die. I gave her the dose the night of a storm.
Framing it as protection. Protecting Vanessa from more public scrutiny, from decline.
But it also reveals this terrifying possessiveness. Her justification is chilling.
Everything is for her protection, you see. Everything I did, everything I do. You have no claim over her. She was mine. It's absolute. Deadly.
And just when Becker thinks he understands, Grace delivers the final twist. For him.
She takes his car key, disconnects the internet, traps him on the island during a storm.
Just like Julian.
Exactly. A chilling echo. She even says, bonds are forged when you spend the night with someone during a storm. She seems to relish having him there, safe and warm and dry and not alone.
He becomes the next him in her narrative, another potential victim of her need to control, to never be abandoned again.
Terrifying stuff. So, wrapping our heads around all this, what does it really mean?
Well, this deep dive shows these incredibly intricate, often violent layers of human connection, doesn't it? Love, loyalty, devotion, twisting into something terrifying.
And Vanessa's art division, too, the black paintings, it becomes this canvas for unspoken truths, for trauma, while Grace's fierce protection masks her own deep wounds, her abandonment, her desperate need for connection.
And you have to think about the island, Iris. It's not just a backdrop.
No, it's like a character itself, reflecting the isolation, the confinement, the wild emotions of everyone there, the blue hour, the tides, the light and shadow. It all mirrors their internal states, the shifting nature of truth.
It really does. The island's constant flux, just like Grace's tidal nature.
It makes you ask, how do personal stories and public perception differ? Vanessa's art was misunderstood. Grace's life, her motives, judged or just ignored.
She felt unseen, didn't she? The source notes she thought, no one thought to ask Grace Haswell. What she thought, how she felt. It makes you think about the narratives we build ourselves and what truths they might hide.
And finally, there's this theme of freedom versus imprisonment. Vanessa sought freedom on the island, freedom from men, from domesticity. She felt that intoxicating liberation.
Grace, too, sought liberation from her past, from abandonment.
But for both of them, freedom came with its own traps, its own terrible choices, often violent ones. So the question lingers. Is real freedom found in escape? Or is it found in facing, maybe even embracing, the most extreme aspects of love and loss?
That was quite a journey, wasn't it? Into the heart of this story. From one bone in a sculpture to this incredibly complex web of loyalty, abandonment, murder.
It really shows how art can both conceal and reveal our deepest, sometimes darkest human experiences.
Makes you wonder, what other stories are hiding out there, just waiting for a deeper look to bring them into the light?
Indeed.
Well, thank you for joining us on this exploration. We hope we've managed to uncover some important insights for you. We look forward to the next time. Until then, stay curious.